Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are going to unpack one of the absolute most magnificent structural marvels of human anatomy. We're talking about a muscle so massive, and honestly so functionally critical, that it effectively acts as your body's built-in powerhouse. Today, we are completely decoding the ultimate biological cape. I'm so thrilled to guide you through this because once you actually understand the architecture of your own back, I promise you, you'll never look at human movement the exact same way again.
I want you to start by getting physically engaged with this concept. Just picture this for a second. Imagine reaching up, grabbing a bar, and pulling your entire body weight up for a pull-up. Or think about the sheer force of pulling water past you during a really aggressive freestyle swimming stroke. What's the primary engine actually driving that incredible display of leverage and strength? Spoiler alert, it's not just your arms. There is a massive, sweeping structure anchoring your limbs to your core that's driving all that force.
Section 1. Meet the Latissimus Dorsi.
So, the Latissimus Dorsi, it is this incredibly broad, triangular muscle that basically blankets almost the entire lower part of your back. But here's the wild part. Despite its lower body origin, it acts mainly on the shoulder joint, right? Just think about that for a second. It serves as this massive superficial layer that directly connects your upper limb to your trunk. It's a grand unifier in your musculoskeletal system, spanning a massive physical distance just to transfer power from your solid core directly to your movable arms.
Now, let's run through some of its most striking peculiarities. First off, it is undeniably the largest muscle in the back. It's flat and triangular, which is exactly what gives it that distinctive cape-like appearance we mentioned earlier. It also forms the posterior axillary fold, which is essentially the back wall of your armpit. And while it obviously drives those powerful movements like climbing and swimming, it actually has a really surprising dual role. When the upper limb is fixed, it acts as a muscle of respiration. Meaning, if you're ever gasping for air and you grab onto a railing to catch your breath, you actually lock down your arms so your Latissimus Dorsi can pull your ribcage open. It's just an incredible mechanism for both extreme movement and survival breathing.
Section 2. Anatomy and Architecture.
Just taking in the sheer scale we are talking about here, this broad morphology sweeps all the way across the lower back and funnels upward. It anchors relative to other major landmarks, like the trapezius right above it, and sweeps over the lower portion of the scapula. It takes all of that wide, expansive tissue and narrows it down into a highly concentrated, twisted tendon that's aiming dead straight for the arm.
So, where does all that muscle go? This is where the mechanical design gets absolutely brilliant. Despite originating across this vast expanse of the lower back, it traces to an incredibly specific insertion point, the floor of the intertubercular sulcus, or the bicipital groove of the humerus. Your body basically takes this massive sheet of pulling power and focuses it entirely into one tiny groove on the arm bone. It's literally like taking the wind caught by a massive sail and directing every ounce of that force into a single sturdy mast.
To fully grasp this 3D architecture, let's consider its spatial relations. Superficially, right on top, it's really just skin and superficial fascia, which, is why bodybuilders and swimmers can show off such incredible definition there. But deep underneath, that's where you have a highly complex skeletal and muscular system. The erector spinae muscles working to keep your spine upright, your ribs protecting your organs, and the intercostal muscles sitting between those ribs. The Latissimus Dorsi drapes over all this complexity like a protective, powerful blanket.
Section 3. Powering your movements.
This muscle primarily drives three major mechanical actions at the shoulder. First, extension of the shoulder joint, so pulling your arm down and back behind you. Second, adduction of the arm, which is pulling it tight in toward the midline. And third, medial rotation of the humerus, basically twisting the arm inward. When you mentally categorize those three precise joint mechanics, you quickly see how they combine to create almost every major pulling motion you make.
And when you combine those joint actions, you get what I like to call its superhero functions. As a powerful extensor, adductor, and medial rotator all rolled into one, this is the engine that raises your body towards your upper limb, which is exactly what happens when you're rock climbing or pulling yourself up over a ledge. We also see that it teams up with the teres major muscle to form that posterior axillary fold. And again, absolutely don't forget its role in forced expiration. Whether you are swimming an intense race or scaling a wall, this muscle is not just moving you. It is actively helping you breathe under extreme physical stress. Talk about a multitasker.
Let's slow it down a bit for Section 4, when things go wrong.
Because, well, every superhero has their kryptonite. And for the Latissimus Dorsi, it's the thoracodorsal nerve. This one single nerve commands this vast cape-like muscle. If there is an injury to the thoracodorsal nerve, it directly leads to profound weakness and extension.
This massive structural marvel, spanning all the way from your lower back to your armpit, can be completely neutralized by damage to one single delicate nerve wire. It dramatically weakens the entire pulling system of the upper body.
Which really leaves us with the profound realization about our own biomechanics. If your biological cape suddenly lost its power to extend, if that one nerve was compromised, how would it change the way you move through your daily life? Every time you try to push yourself out of a deep chair using your arms, or pull a heavy door open, or go for a swim, you rely on this elegant, powerful muscle. The Latissimus Dorsi is a true testament to the intricate, delicate balance of your body's design, a massive sheet of raw power completely dependent on the smallest of structural connections. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and keep marveling at the incredible machinery you walk around in every single day.